All right, welcome back to the second episode of the No Nonsense Walkthrough. Last time we got up to this point where we talked to Melina, and we got to the point where we could level up. I did mention that I will show you the different attributes that we have here. Now, in this section, you kind of break down all the different attributes that you have: vigor, mind, endurance, strength, dexterity, intelligence, faith, arcane. We picked these out when we did our starting class, and we did pick the one that had the higher dexterity and the higher endurance, which is what we wanted. Um, Strength isn't something that we will really build up in this class. Instead, we're going to leave that at 12 unless we come across a weapon that scales in dex and strength. Now, I'll show you what that means in a minute, but we're going to pretty much focus on dexterity, endurance, and vigor. So I highly recommend everybody when they start the game, level up vigor as much as you can. I would say keep vigor going until you get to 40, which is the soft cap. You do have a soft cap for your mind. Your mind soft cap is 55. Soft cap for endurance is 50. The equip load for endurance, like what you can carry, soft cap's 25. Strength soft cap is 20, then 55, and then 80. Dex soft cap is 20, 55, 80. Intelligence soft cap is 20, 50, 80. The sorcery scaling, it works kind of differently. We could explain that later, but that's also soft cap 60, 80. Faith soft caps are 20, 50, 80. Incantation soft caps are 60, 80. Your arcane soft caps are 20, 50, 80. And again, those incantations are 30 and 45 on the soft caps there. Pretty much what I'm saying, if I'm focusing on vigor, endurance, dexterity, my first goal for these, I want to hit vigor, I want to hit 40. Endurance, I want to get to 50. And then dexterity, I want to get to 20 and then 55. We're closest to dexterity soft cap. So what I want to do is I'm going to level up my vigor to level 20. It's not a soft cap. It's just kind of an easy number to get to. So I want to get 8 levels out of this. And then I want to get my dexterity up 5 more levels before I fight the first boss. That's kind of an easy way to go through the game and say, okay, here's the goals before I want to fight the first boss, next boss, blah, blah, blah. When you level up, though, the runes needed will increase as well. So right now I have runes needed 811. That'll probably go up to like 820 or 830. So when I'm talking 8 levels on vigor, 5 levels on dexterity, I'm looking at 13 levels. So I'm probably going to be somewhere near 910, 920. Probably more actually, probably 950 by the time that we increase to that level. So just know that when you collect runes, it's not just, oh, every level is 811 runes. It's not the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run around to get at least one level so I can show you how that works in the scaling. And then that was just a little pop-up for Torrent, our steed, and also just items. I will go over that in 1 second, but for now, I'm going to go and fight and try to get some. I'm not going to go to this camp because that's a different monster I do want to tackle eventually. For now, I'm going to come up to this hill where you remember from the last episode, I was fighting the soldiers of Godric. They're the soldiers walking around with the red and green chest plates and armor. The one with singing fires. I'm just going to go and try to get 811 runes so I can show you how the level up process works. Now I'm going up and I'm button smashing. Early on, it's a little bit more forgiving with button mashing, especially with the stagger breaks are easy. With these ones that we fight. Now you can tell I'm not getting a lot of runes fighting these ones. Even if I fight them all, I might have to rest at a bonfire to let them respawn and get them again. And I'm not going to walk around and try to sneak through and get him. I'm just going to go and just fight him straight up. Because even at the low level I am, these guys are definitely the starter enemy. And now you can see I'm at 512, so I only got 299 more runes to go. Now I didn't lock on there and I almost missed. And again, you can just pick up items as you go. You can read them afterwards and learn about them. You see how I'm missing because I'm not locked on. So now let's lock on. And we got them. And we're getting about 64 each. Now this is the same path. Remember the first setting, well, I shouldn't say the first. One of the beginning set of graces I started at, the Church of Ella. This is kind of a good starting point. If you are into PvP, this is a good area to do that in. A lot of people come here to try to fight you. And there's an item we have to use, so don't worry about people coming to just fight you out in the blue. They do have invaders, but you can learn about that later. Here we have that option to talk to Melina. I'm not going to talk to her just yet. I'm going to try to get more levels. Usually when you do see talk to Melina, you want to. That usually indicates some sort of dialogue that's, crucial to the lore, the storyline. That's I'm here for a goal right now. I think I need 2 more soldiers of Godric, and then I should be good. Okay, now I should be over 811. Yep, 832. So now I can level up. I want to go back on the path and go back to the church. Any sites of grace you could level up at. You don't have to be at the one that we were just at. You can do this anywhere, pretty much. At the site of grace, you could also pass time. So if you're a player that likes to play during the day, you could go to the morning. If you want the nighttime, you could go to night, midday. A couple options. Nighttime, there are different enemies. I can show you in the future. But for now, let's get back to the level up. So we go here. We finally have enough rooms. We need 811. We have 832. So if I'm sitting here at Vigor and I want to go to 13, keep an eye on that base stat in the middle top where it says 455 to 455. When I go and I increase to 13, you see how it turns blue and it goes to 476? That's the increase that we have. Now, when I talk about soft cap, so I talk about the level 40 is a soft cap. That means up until level 40, the HP increases pretty good every level. So when I go from 12 to 13 on my Vigor level, my HP increases pretty good. So here I increase 21 HP points. As I go up, it keeps doing that. At level 40, it doesn't really make as much of a jump. So that's why we call it a soft cap, because you kind of take a pause there, right? And the next soft cap would be level 60. And when you hit level 60, that's kind of like, okay, now the HP increases, decrease again. So when you're going through, don't waste your time trying to go Vigor 99 right away. Not as useful as you'd think. So just try to focus on the soft caps that I mentioned earlier. Vigor, like I said, I want to try to get a 20. It's not a soft cap. It's just a good number for me to think of. So I want to do Vigor to 20 first, and then I want to go down to Dexterity and get Dexterity level 20. Now, if you're new to the Souls games, when you die, you lose your souls or you lose your runes. And you have to go back and retrieve them. But if you die twice in a row, so say I die and I didn't get back to the runes, and then I die again, I lose my runes. So when you have them, use them, unless you're saving up. So I'm going to use them here. I'm going to go Vigor to 13, and then I'm going to go down to Confirm. And what that's going to do is I'm going to spend 811 runes to get my HP up, and now I'm at 476. You can't go down on the skills, so you can't go here and you can't press left to go down unless you went up during the session before you confirmed. Going down, that's called what we call respec. So you're redoing all of your attributes here. You're going to get that later in the game after you beat one of the bosses. For now, you can only go up. Again, I'd say focus on Vigor. Alright, so now we got the level up out of the way. I want to talk to Melina. Pronounce it. I don't know. Hey, what's up? And then we're going to talk to her again. So here she's telling you pretty much where you have to go. I'm done talking to her. I depleted her dialogue. So she's saying go up on the cliff. What's at the top of the cliff is this castle thing. Okay. So now we kind of know our direction, but how do we get there? Oh, let's follow the light. So we'll go back and we'll follow it. And oh, look at that. So you go from one site of grace, the direction of the light brings you to the next. Direction of that light brings you to the next. Now you know you have to go up this way. And you kind of tell there's a little road. You can't really tell what's the rest of the map showing because we don't have the map yet. Now, if you go on to the maps, you can look around. You can see like these little things like Stormgate, Gatefront Ruins. These are the names of the locations that you're at. So remember we went to Church of Ella? That's what we're at now. And if you zoom in, you can kind of tell that that's the location. This is the road that we took, and that's the ruins. Now, when you get onto a map, you see this little icon here. Right above the Gatefront Ruins, you can see this little tower. That is where the map's at. So I highly recommend to get the map as soon as you can. So I want to put a marker there. And what's other cool thing about this game is you can fast travel to sites of grace. So as long as you're in an area where we're not getting attacked, you can open up the map, click on this, press A or X, travel to Gatefront, press OK. So that does bring us to a cut screen, and then, or not a cut screen, a loading screen, and then we show up at the site of grace. So now we're back to this site of grace that we were at initially. And do you see my marker? So that same icon is up in the top where the compass, you could tell, right below E. And on the actual screen, we could see a blue light shining up as tall as possible. This makes it easy for us when we're running around to find this. Now, one or two things could happen. You could go and you could fight every single person that's here. I don't find that to be the most efficient. If you're trying to get runes, yes, do that. If your just main goal is to get the map, do that. Now, in the game, the map tower is that right here, not where the blue dot is. The blue dot's not really giving us good indication. So I'm actually going to lower this down and see if I can get it. Yeah, so see the new icon? It's closer to that little tower. At the bottom, you can see there's an item. It's like a purple hue. You want to run up and get that. The only downside is see the guy that's walking up right next to the main aisle? He has a horn. He's going to blow that, and every enemy in the area is going to come and try to attack you. So you have to either be really good at running away and dodging, or you should fight them. That's up to you. I'm going to run away and dodge it because this is a no-nonsense walkthrough. I'm going to run, get the map, and I'm going to run through to the next site of grace. So you can't see it from here, but the site of grace, I believe, is right around there. And I'm going to try to run and get that after I get the map. Because even if they're attacking you, if you rest at a site of grace, it resets the world, and then they're not attacking you. So let's go forward. I'm going to make sure I'm not two-handing this. And I'm going to just sprint through. I want to kind of go over here, so even if they come and attack me, I have a different area. And I want to get this. Oh, wrong button. That's going to get me. I got the map. Now I could try to get this guy so he doesn't use a horn. And he doesn't. Alright. So now you see all these guys joined. The guy with the unique shield, don't mess with him unless you're ready to fight. He is strong and, yep, see, he hits hard. So I want to just sprint through. They're going to follow me. You'll see that they're following me. Right here. I'm faster, though. And you can see these swirling lights. That usually means that you're near site of grace. I want to run by that marker so it goes away. But that usually means you're near site of grace. And look at that. It saves me. I'm going to touch it, and I want to try to rest by the time that they come and attack. I don't think they attack this far away from there. But either way, I'm going to do that. And now I could have this little dot again next to Melina and talk to her again. Now you keep talking to her. She gives you information every time you do so. Now that I have the map, when I open up the map, I see this little icon, a new map's been found, Limgrave West. So now when I zoom out, I can see everything. So this is right where we started. This is where Vere is on that cliff. We saw the guy with the golden armor walking right around here. This is the church that we went to. This is the path. Remember how there was woods there? So you kind of see, different things on the map. This is just a telescope. You could see in distances, view the world that they created. And then you could also see things that you haven't gone to yet, like this finger reader crone. You know that there's one here. This is the site of grace that we were at before. This is the Gatefront Ruins. There's a bunch of things you can do. There's a lot of items you can go to. You can get, if you travel down here, you can go to the Weeping Peninsula. You go over to the East Limgrave. There's lots of areas that you can go to get through. Now, what I want to show you is how to travel faster on foot. Well, technically on torrent. So right now I'm just sprinting, holding down B, doing that. You now have that spectral steed. So if you go into your equipment and down where like the flask are, that's your bottom icon. So that's like the bottom part of your screen. And if I click on one of the empty slots, I have all these different items I can put down there, right? And if you hover over it, it'll tell you what it is. The exclamation point just means it's a new item. So if you're going through and you don't know what you picked up, come here, exclamation point means that it's new. I'm going to go over to the Spectral Steed Whistle, and I'm going to equip it. So I'm just going to press A, and that'll equip it in the item slot. So now I have 3 items down there. So that means when I am looking at my bottom left corner of the screen where the flask are, if I press down on the D-pad, it cycles through what I have. Now I have this whistle here. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to sidetrack real quick, guys. I'm not using FP. I'm not doing intelligence. So I'm going to get rid of this blue flask. It's just pointless for me to have. But I don't want to just put it away. I want to allocate my flask. So you get a total of 4 to begin the game. So I have 1 here and 3 here. So I want to make this 4. So what I do is I come up to the site of grace, and you want to click on the flask again. And now it says add charge. That's if you have golden seed. Increase amount replenished by flask. That's if you have a different item, which we'll cover in a minute. Allocated flash charges. We're going to click on that. And now this is where it'll tell you, you can make 1 heavier. So if I'm going heavy magic and I just want 1 flask to heal me, then I could do that. And then I have a lot of FP I can use. I'm not doing that. I'm going to go the opposite. So I'm going to do 4 health. And now I'm going to confirm, allocate. And now when I back out of here, I have 4. So this is pretty much a dead item. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into equipment. And then you could click in here and then click it again. And that would disable it. A quick way is just press X, remove it, and then you're good. Now I will have just 2 items at the bottom. So I only have to swap between my health and my spectral steed. So again, I mounted it. I have the spectral steed down here. If you press X, you use that bottom item. So when I was fighting, you could heal, press X, and you would use that. Instead, I want to go to my steed. I want to press X, and I get Torrent, our, like I said, our goat horse thing. He is really fast compared to you running, so this is just him walking around. And then if you're sprinting, you can see the wind blowing in my hair. Now he does jump just like you. So if you're walking, you jump over things. Well, what's really cool is he double jumps. So when you jump, press it again, and you got to get that little bit of boost. Now, I will warn you, when you're at the top of a cliff, so say you're at a really tall cliff. I'm not here where it'll do me any damage. I'm not here at a tall cliff where I could get damaged. But if you're tall enough and you fall down the cliff, if you think that you could fall and right before he lands, you jump, that's not how it works. It actually adds to the distance falling. So don't think that you double jumping is going to be less damaging. It actually is the opposite. It hurts you more. So if you're falling off the cliff, the best chance of survival is just try to land and hopefully it doesn't kill you. But yeah, when you're jumping over things, like say you have a taller obstacle to get over, the double jump will help you jump over that. And it is useful. When you're exploring, I kind of just stay on Torrent. It seems to be the fastest way to travel. And that's how you kind of run by things. You can avoid fights, doing it that way. I am going to show you, before we progress the storyline, it is going to be a kind of a sidetrack. It's not the quickest way to get through the game. The quickest way is just keep fighting the enemies. But long term, for especially new players, this will be a good way to level up. It's a rune farm. It is a spot where early game you can go and you could rune farm and level up your character. If you're weak, if you would never play these games, leveling up, over leveling, not as fun as if you just level up with the game. But if you are just trying to learn, this is a way that you can level up, be over leveled, and then it kind of helps you take a little more damage and do everything that way. So I want to show you a quick rune farm. If you're not interested in that, you can just skip ahead. I'm going to end the video at the end of the rune farm. So you can always just back out of the video and go to my next one, where I will start over here in the Aegil Lake North, and we'll continue on the storyline from there. But if you are interested in the rune farm, stay in this video. I'm going to go down to the east side of things. So I'm going to travel to this side of the map. So here we go. And since I can't really see over there, I don't even see the brown part of the area, I'm just going to run. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to run by pretty much every enemy. And this guy talking, we will cover him later. He's not a crucial part of the game. He is just a side character. Oh yeah, I do have to go across the bridge. That's on me, guys. So you have to go south a little bit and go through that bridge. But yeah, that guy talking, not crucial to the story. He is a fun side character, and if you're going through the game, you're doing everything, stop, talk to him. He's a tree. He's hiding. But for now, I'm skipping that. I'm also skipping the guy on the horse. At nighttime, he's a really tough enemy. So at nighttime, don't cross the bridge. Try to do it during the day. Going down here, all these enemies, and you can hear the music change. I'm supposed to fight them, but honestly, I'm just going to ride past everything, and I'm trying to avoid the fights because waste of time. Now, if you want to level up quicker, you can fight them, get the runes. But I'm about to show you a rune farm that is not really needing you to fight. You kind of bypass everything. It is not morally great, but if you're just trying to get the game and understand it and learn it, you can do this. So hit a site of grace. I always hit them. I always rest at them. And I'm going to jump back on torrent. And now I'm going to show you the map here. So now I have the map fragment a little bit south. So I want to mark that. Warning, there's a bear, a rune bear near here, and they hit hard. Avoid them. But I'm going to run past them so we can unlock this side of the map. You stay out of the main area, so if you stay in like the trees, so if I'm not going down there, it's a wide open area. You can avoid a lot of the fights, but yeah, that right there, that's the rune bear. Luckily I didn't aggro him. There's another one crawling right there, and these guys hit hard, especially early game. You do not want to mess with them. And you could pick up on the horse or on torrent. Of course, I was in mashing different buttons. Don't go down here yet. This is a different part of the game. I'd leave that alone for now, and it's not completely crucial. So now you're just going to want to head north. If you're in a safe spot, go ahead and look at your map. You have the new map unlocked, Limgrave East. And if I kept going east, I would have hit the cliff. That's not where we want to go. We actually want to travel. Where I'm going, yeah. I want to travel over here. So there's a little church that's going to be right here, in like this back right corner. And then there is a little portal. You want to go to right there. So for now, I want to head towards my. Oh, I got 2 markers. So that's 1. That's nice that they number it so you can tell. I want to go over to 2. And I'm on my way to. This is the Third Church of America. There is a giant in this area. Again, they hit hard, easy to dodge. So my suggestion would be dodge the rune bear for sure. And always look before you jump. I'm not, because I know this area. I know that's not, I'm not jumping off a cliff that'll kill me. Here's the church, and there's the giant. You could fight him. If you do end up fighting him, you do want to fight him. Stay inside of his legs, in between his legs, and attack his legs. That's the safe spot. But roll. Don't be greedy and swing away. But yeah, I'm going to dodge him for now. and I'm coming over here. The Third Church of America. We will get those items in 1 second. I'm going to just touch the grace. And I'm going to rest at it. Now, talking to Melina. No. And this part, I know a lot of people might have clicked off. They don't want to see the room farm. It is, like I said, a lot of people have bad point of view. They don't want to. I'm gonna pass this for you guys. I'm not going to say do it or don't do it. I'm probably not going to do it in this walkthrough just so I can keep it simple, so you can see my level. But because people clicked off this, I'm not going to click on these items just yet because this is part of the story that you do need. But we're going to come back to these in the future. So for now, I'm just going to get back on Torrent. And I'm going to go to that corner of the lake. So again, I want to go right about here. And there's going to be a little bit of portal. So there's going to be portals throughout the game. Don't go in them unless you know where you're going, because sometimes you can end up in a spot that is bad. Where we're going is pretty high level, and you will get hurt, but not right off the bat. So I'm traveling to a location. So now we're in a different area. That guy, he looks at you, you die. I'm kidding. He doesn't actually do that, but he is very strong. You don't want to mess with him. For now, walk to this gate and open this up. There's a guy in here, very crucial part of the story. We will cover him later, but for now, I'm just coming here to get the Site of Grace. Do not attack him. You won't aggro him, but do not attack him. You will die. I'm not going to rest. I'm fully healed. Again, you can talk to him later, but that's going to be later down the line. Right now, we're just focusing on trying to get to the rune farm. Now, when you walk in front of this gargoyle, is the name of this one. I think it's a black gargoyle. I think it's named. You will aggro him, and he will attack. You got to just outrun him. But I'm going to show you kind of where we want to go. We're gonna end up going a little bit left here. Well, on our left, right of the map, and we're going to travel southbound. The route is a little bit different, and it's kind of difficult to get to. So pause the video if you need to as we go. But for now, I'm just going to run because there's a lot of enemies that can one-shot me in this. We're going to go around a bridge. We're going to go around some points in this area, and we're going to end up at the next Site of Grace. So I'm going to run until I get to the next Site of Grace, which is actually right next to that tower over there. So for now, just run. Try to follow me as best you can. This route, not necessarily the best route. It's just the route that I know, and trying to avoid as many enemies as possible. And one other thing is when you're trying to dodge, especially in a territory with all these guys that are around, like these smaller characters, don't double jump because then you pretty much waste a dodge. I always single jump if I could. There's an item here I'm going to pick up. I don't remember what it is. Purple. Yeah, okay. We'll worry about that later. But now I'm at a cliff. So I'm going to come down here. I'm not going to go across that bridge. There is a dragon, and you don't want to fight him. And do you see how I jumped off that cliff without jumping? I just fell over. And then I'm going to go to this area. And same thing, there's a route here. You could go up there and walk down. I'm going to go to this route. And now we're going to travel this way. Still sprinting. This bridge we are going to cross. And again, at night, there's this enemy here that's very strong. You want to avoid him. So we're just going to go this way. Now you can see in the distance a little bit of that shard, that Site of Grace. Again, do this during the day. Don't do this at nighttime. Nighttime, there's an enemy that will also kill you. So you get here. You have to get off your horse and touch Site of Grace. Touch it. As I'm touching it, make sure if you do get killed while you're touching Site of Grace before you rest at it, you still visited this, so you could still come back here. So I'm going to rest. Now we're at the location that we want to go to. Oh, she's going to take us. So for now, because want to cover this in the other video, in the third video, I'm not going to go to the round table hold, but when you get this, go to the round table hold. It's like the hub. So we've played other Dark Souls like the Firelink Shrine, but this is kind of like a area where you could, get things, buy things, and talk to NPCs, a safe space. But now I'm not going to go. I'm going to go afterwards, and we'll cover that in the future. But for now, I just wanted to sit here and rest. I want to show you the rune farm. So what you're going to do is you're going to get on your horse, and you're going to run down to the bottom here. There's an invisible cannonball that's going to drop and roll down the hill and try to kill you. If it hits you, you will die. What you're going to want to do is you're going to run down with the horse, and you're going to kind of loop around like this and let the cannonball roll and fall off the cliff. And you have to look back at it for it to collect the runes. So I will show you real quick how to do it. Now you could sprint. I don't recommend it. I just recommend a normal trot. And you sprint once the ball goes down. The ball is going to drop around here, but it won't drop until you get down to a certain point. So once I'm down here, you'll hear it. Here it is. And you just sprint that way, and then you look back. And you see how it fell off just a little bit there? And you see now I gained 1,900 runes. You just come back up, sprint now, and you will be able to rest the Site of Grace, and then it'll respawn. So if I come here, get off my horse, rest the Site of Grace, I'm going to do it again. I'm sprinting just because you can if you want. Now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sprint, and then watch it fall off. And more 1,900 runes. So you just do that, rinse and repeat until the level you're comfortable with you're at, and go from there. So for now, I'm going to rest. I'm going to level up my vigor. And you see that? Went from 10 to 14. I went up 4 levels just from 2 passes. So you can see how this kind of makes the game a little bit easier for you if you're not used to playing Souls. So I'm going to spend that. Okay, now I gained quite a bit of vigor. So I want to go back to that last Site of Grace that I mentioned early in the video. I don't have the map, but I do have that Site of Grace. It's called Lenny's Rise. You always go back there. We will cover it later. For now, I am going to Agheel Lake North. And then we will start the next video at that Site of Grace. So thank you for coming along, and look forward to the next one.